Now,
121 episode Bolts and Hose. We got a joke. Someone wants to tell a joke. Come on. Noemi? Come on. She's first time on the podcast. First time on the podcast. Welcome, Noemi. She's got a funny joke, I think.
Okay, a guy took a Viagra and it got stuck in his throat. So guess what happened?
What?
He has a stiff throat. That's what it is? Oh, a neck.
That's good. That's good.
I think you delivered that flawlessly. It's good.
So a guy took a Viagra.
Yeah, it got stuck in his throat.
It got stuck in his throat.
And he got a stiff neck.
And it gave him a stiff neck.
Yeah.
It gave him a stiff neck. That's not a dad joke? What kind of joke is that, Jamie?
That was pretty weak, though. Even if she had delivered it flawlessly, it was pretty weak.
Listen, I saw that joke and I giggled. So, but that just goes to show you my sense of humor.
We all know your sense of humor, Bryce.
You know, so here we
You
are.
have to hold that thing right up to your mouth.
Here we are,
I think
everybody.
You're probably blowing out the speakers.
Really? You think
just
so?
clip it on your shirt.
I'm not clipping it on my shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I don't have a button shirt.
Or just
like
lay it down on the table there. I think that would be fine.
What do I do with my hands?
I'm sure what to do with my hands. I knew that was coming.
So Mr. Best Buy over here, he got some new microphones.
You know, to be honest, I've had these sit on my desk for at least a year and we've never used them. But I got to thinking, why don't we use those things? And I tried it out and it actually works.
Tell the truth. You just went out and bought these.
Well, I will admit, there was only one transmitter and one receiver. The receiver's hooked up to the camera. So the transmitter, I had to order another one. You had to pair it. And then so both mics should work.
So if I scream into this, it would just blow everything out?
I mean, maybe. I'm sure there's some type of equalization thing that occurs. I don't know all the technical details there, but I'm sure they thought of that.
It's interesting. Okay. Well, I'll just sit here like this. How's that?
Admittedly, we're going into this completely cold turkey. We haven't talked about any topics, really.
We kind of did.
Yeah.
I mean, we always kind of talk about topics, but we never nail it down.
We always keep some things in the background, and we think, hey, we could talk about that or this or whatever.
And that's, I think that's my favorite part about the podcast.
I'd say the first thing, cheers is in order. We have hit a record month of Patriot Bolt.
Biggest month ever.
Biggest month ever. And actually, we hit the biggest month ever about a week ago, and we're just, we got a couple more days left. Maybe one more day left after today.
Yeah.
And so we're blowing through it.
It's a celebration.
We've hit a couple of milestones, which is great.
It's been a wild ride.
Rocking and rolling. We talked last week about all the inventory being delivered and all the equipment being delivered. So we're in the process of wiring that up right now, moving some things around, making space for other things.
New buildings.
We've got a new building we're trying to close on the next week.
Heck yeah,
and
man.
There's another building that we offered an LOI on today. So we could potentially be sitting here in a month from now and have 4 buildings.
4 buildings. And
total.
30 CNCs and 7 landis machines and 3 roll threaders.
Massive roll threader we got.
Crazy. It's crazy times. And we already got work piled up on all the equipment.
Already got a big
just
job.
like staged.
Yeah, we're over there running the new landis machines right now.
It's wild. Christian said he needed us to load up more landis work.
Yeah, he tried to talk to me about it earlier.
Did everyone hear that? We need more landis work. Got that, Danny?
Yeah.
On it.
But good margin landed work though. I have no doubt you can get landis work, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, you can have one only.
No.
You can't have both?
We can have them both.
Sure.
We can have them both. So, I think we're gonna, or let's BS a little bit.
Okay.
How about that?
Let's do it.
It's hot. You always talk about the weather. It's a hot week in Houston.
It's extremely hot. You go outside, it takes your breath away.
Our guys are out there. I just saw them in the break room. They're dying. 2 of the guys working outside on the tent.
It's only because they play soccer for an hour.
That is true.
We've got a shop that's fairly well air conditioned and one and it was actually pretty comfortable in there today.
But you got 2 guys working outside doing all the inventory stuff.
Yeah, we had some visitors a little bit earlier and they were actually walking through the shop commenting about how comfortable it was out there.
I mean, it is comfortable when you walk out from 106 into 80.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
It makes 80 feel really good.
Yeah.
So,
But it's not that bad. It could be worse. Could be worse.
we got Friday Night Lights starting tonight.
I saw that. Yeah.
High school football is
Yeah.
back, baby.
Yeah. I will admit, I haven't spent enough time on high school football, but when I do it, it is very exciting. You know, because it's one of those things, it's kind of like college ball. Anything can happen, even no matter who's ahead. You know, one big play changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, you got NFL, for example. There's a lot of talented players on both sides of the ball, and it's a little more predictable. You know, things don't swing as it's not as volatile.
Is the NFL fixed? Do you think that, in professional sports in general, do you think they're fixed?
No, I don't.
You really don't?
No, I don't.
You don't think the NBA's fixed?
I think there's little things that happen, you know, and you hear about, you know, players getting involved in this betting schemes, and, you know, they may bet against their team to win or lose, and that may influence a little bit. But overall, you know, what your question would imply, I don't think there's this large grand scheme to you know, predict an outcome and make it come to fruition.
It's absolutely fixed. It's a business, so they want the most money, and so they're going to fix it so they get the most money.
But who is they?
Like the deep state.
See, that's my problem with a lot of these conspiracy theories. When somebody says that,
No, it's the people running the
easy to
NFL.
say
Roger
that,
Goodell, and he has a group
but
of
you
people
have people on both sides of that equation that want to win, and to think that somebody's going to throw a game
But
or
what's-
invest that type of money and fall down is ridiculous.
The
to me.
more viewership they can make, the more valuable the NFL comes, the more valuable teams are. So it doesn't really matter if they win or
But
lose. They just
viewership
want
in general, I mean, what about the viewership in that particular market? If somebody lays down or, you know, and gives
It
up
doesn't
the
matter.
game.
They'll still watch. I mean, I've been a Cubs fan my whole life, and I still watch it, even though they lose every year except for one.
So how many Super Bowls would the Patriots have won if it wasn't fixed then? Because you obviously, to run that analogy out, you would obviously think that many Super Bowls with one team, they would have had to do that by design, right?
Well, okay, so I don't think it's 100% fixed, but I do think that they help other teams get there. So you have people that love the Patriots and people who hate the Patriots are going to watch that now, and then you got another big market team that's going to come in and drive viewership up. You know what I'm saying? So a team like the Patriots is good for Super Bowls because more people are going to watch it because they're probably the most loved and or hated team in the NFL at the time.
So let's play this out. Who has an interest in fixing this then?
All of the owners.
The owners would.
Absolutely. Yeah, because they're the ones making the money.
So obviously there's going to be winners in this and a lot of losers.
No, because they win regardless. They win if people view, if they watch the NFL, the more viewership, the more money they make. It doesn't matter. You do win.
That particular team is making money from their individual markets, though.
What do you mean? No, they all make money. If you have a shitty team and no one watches that team, that's still worth money because they're still in the NFL, which is worth a lot of money.
But somebody has to pay those players,
For sure.
right?
The
That's
owner.
probably their biggest expense
owner.
is paying the players.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's got to generate income. So he's not getting a handout from management of the NFL.
But if NFL was boring, nobody would watch it. If NFL is fun and exciting, more people watch it.
I think you got a pretty weak argument here, Bryce.
JB, what do you think? You're probably the most into sports person. You and Chavez, both you guys. What do you think? Do you think, so Chavez thinks it's rigged. JB?
I used to think it wasn't, but I'm really starting to think it is.
I agree.
Really?
I agree. Oh, shit. Alton is an ex-college athlete.
Were you ever asked to throw a game in college
I
football?
don't think he was ever in a position to throw.
Does anybody you know, do you ever suspect anybody that you played with was ever asked to throw a game?
Not at the college level, no.
So one of his good friends plays in the NFL. You should ask him and get his opinion on it. I'd be curious.
Before, he said no.
No way?
There's no possible way.
Because they get bonuses for winning games.
Absolutely.
But so I think from a player standpoint, I think the referees control the game more than the players. I think there's probably some players that are in on it, but referees are the ones that
So you
control
think
games.
out of, let's say, 100 different owners plus the general
100
managers.
No, there's only what, 32
I'm
teams?
talking not just owners, but general managers, coaches, because they'd all have to be in on this, right? They'd all have to be in on it.
No, I think the
how's
owners-
the owner going to influence a game?
The owners, because they talk with the referees. The owners will come up with the scheme, and then they drop that scheme down to.
So, okay, out of the, let's say, 100 referees, there's probably more than that in the
Okay.
NFL. they're all in on this.
No,
And
not all of them.
nobody has spoken
I think there's
about
some
it.
of them. Yeah, there's some of them.
Even after the ones that have retired,
Yeah,
the
for
ones
sure.
that get pissed off because they got fired.
It's just like Neil Armstrong never said he didn't go to the moon.
Nobody has written a book on this that they could have made $1 million on.
Tim Donaghy.
He's the guy that got popped, but
Yeah.
he is a little, so he's the NBA referee that got in trouble for fixing games, and I don't know, he's a little less credible, but he did say that they were fixing games in the NBA. So it's definitely out
No
there.
possible way.
It's
No
definitely out
possible
there.
way.
Well,
No way.
agree to disagree? Again?
Although I am the one that's correct.
What do we agree on? Maybe we should talk about that. What's something that you and me agree on?
I don't know that there's a whole lot. I think there's this personality trait with Bryce where he will take the opposite stance of what, if you come up with a stance, he is going to go the opposite way.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I just enjoy arguing.
Okay, well, you name one that we agree on then.
We like selling bolts. We
that's
enjoy
true.
bolts.
But that is in our both of our best interests.
That's
though.
true. That's true. I don't know.
I mean, what are we going to say? I don't like selling bolts and you like selling bolts?
Yes.
No.
Yes, because I bring stuff to you and you're like, no fucking way.
Well, there's a good reason for that every time. Yeah.
So what's going to be our topic? You want to talk tariffs? You want to talk
We did
yield
talk about
strengths?
that
You want to
earlier.
talk tensile?
So let me ask that open-ended question. How are tariffs affecting us today? Because there was a big, I guess this big, long runway where tariffs weren't that big. You had your standard import duty, but with all the tariffs that are imposed now, specifically when we're talking fasteners, Asia is the elephant in the room when it comes to import of fasteners. So not to get on politics and not to get on, any particular country. We benefited, everybody benefited from a large influx of imports, but it's a different game these days, right? Because everybody's importing, but the overall cost, the total cost of import, makes domestic manufacturing much more attractive than it used to be.
It's better with the fuzzball on it.
Do you like it? It's
Yeah.
probably going to sound better now.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
So I think you asked, how has it affected us? I think it's been a great thing. It's been a huge benefit for us, but also it has hurt some of our business. And I'll tell you why. So the imports, the tariffs from China, obviously, and India, specifically China, has definitely helped our business. I think, people are not wanting to import because of the uncertainty. They don't know what their true landed cost is, et cetera, et cetera. More people are buying domestic manufactured products. So I think we've seen a benefit from that. But to our friends in the north, it has hurt business going up to Canada because Canadians now have to pay a 50%, 25 to 50% import tariff for product that we sell to some of our good customers.
Because you've got your standard import duty of like 3.5%, and that's always been the case. But then you have all these stacked tariffs on top of it, like 232, I think, is an additional 50%. And then I think it's 301, I believe, that's another 12.5%. So you could have $100,000 worth of purchased products, and the landed cost on that could be $165,000.
And you got customs fees. I mean, you got a bunch of other fees.
Yeah, that's before shipping.
Right. So you got fees, you got, custom people will take a percentage sometimes it's a flat fee. So that's the thing, is you just never know what your
It's
true
an
landed.
unpredictable thing, yeah.
You just know you never know what your landed cost is. So if you're manufacturing product here, you got good material, you got a manufacturer that you can talk to, it's more reliable.
Yeah, that's the other aspect of it. When you get a rejected part, let's say there's a problem with the quality or production there, what are you going to do to it? The recourse on that from an international supplier, you probably don't have any recourse. It's probably just going to be scrap and you've wasted money.
Correct.
Whereas a domestic supplier, they can generally remedy that for you, whether it's a replacement or some type of rework or something.
Sure.
And it's a relatively simple thing to coordinate.
That's always been my biggest selling point, is if there is a problem, because there's always problems. No one's perfect. If there's a problem, we're here, we can fix it, and you'll be on your way.
And that's been a big big deal for our business because I think a lot of that has shifted where people used to depend quite a bit on imports. People more and more these days, just from a reliability standpoint, are going domestic, and they're looking more towards that than they ever have in the last 20 years, I bet.
I mean, if you go look at big oil producers, AML, all of them is just importers. Everyone on the AML is an importer of product that's coming over from overseas. And so why not add people to your AML that can actually manufacture product here? You can get material that's more predictable. And sometimes it may be more expensive, but at the end of the day, you're going to get the parts, right? I mean, you can rely on us.
You're right, Bryce.
True?
Again.
It's true.
See, we agreed.
We
on something.
agreed.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Again, in both of our best interests, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. One thing, this is kind of a cool thing. I did a ChatGPT thing. Every Monday morning, I get an update on the bolting market from ChatGPT.
Really?
It's kind of cool. I just said, hey, every Monday, send me a note on what's happening in the bolting world.
But you've got this girl set up that has this real sexy voice, right? And she talks to you.
She kind of sounds like a valley girl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of fun.
That's part of the reason why.
It's kind of fun. But she doesn't give me the
does this
report.
on his way into
She
work.
doesn't give me the report verbally. I've tried to figure that out, and I'm sure I could if I dug into it a little deeper, but I actually read it.
It's like an interactive podcast on your way into work.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's what, so I think Rogan, some people have talked about it, is they can track all that, right? Someone is monitoring that. So if someone ever got a hold of my ChatGPT log, oh, baby.
Well, the fact that you have ChatGPT, that tones it down a little bit. When you use Grok,
Yeah, Grok.
that gets a little crazy.
But I don't know, I started with Grok, and then I went to Perplexity. For some reason, I'm back at ChatGPT, and I like it a lot more.
It is good.
It's just, I feel like it's thorough.
Well, it's always changing, so I think they'll go up and down. But you're right. I think ChatGPT is back in the lead now.
Yeah.
But Grok, from an entertainment standpoint, is really good.
It's crazy. But now you got to pay for it. Like, you can't get as many features as you used to. You got to pay for it. And I'm not going to pay for multiple. I'm going to pay for one and be done. And so I'm subscribed to
I'm going to pay for all of them, whether I use them or not.
I know, yeah. But so back to my bolting thing, it's kind of interesting. So refineries are running at 95% capacity for the last 11 weeks. It's the first time that's happened in 25 years. So refineries are running harder and more efficiently, maybe not more efficiently, than they ever have in the last 25 years. So what does that tell you?
They're taking advantage of the
they're
oil
making money.
prices and making money.
They're making money.
Yeah.
But when that happens, what happens next?
Things start breaking.
Absolutely.
And then they start repairing stuff.
So deferred maintenance, I mean, that's the biggest, everyone's deferring all of their planned shutdowns.
This is a standard thing that a sales guy does, though. There's a reason why sales aren't here today, and they will be here tomorrow. Bryce is the king of that.
No, I'm not. You got to admit.
No, I think it is true.
There's some
I
production.
agree. Yeah.
There's some production.
There's no doubt, yeah.
But there is, I think, more.
But all of our
now.
business is not focused on oil and gas.
That's very true. That's very true.
And we probably don't see the demand from oil and gas that we see in other markets like we have in the past.
That's very true. We have diversified more in the last few months, for sure. But I think refineries in the next 6 months are there's going to be a lot of shit.
But those type of inquiries are definitely fewer and far between than they've been in the past.
I mean, shit, we're quoting one of the biggest jobs we've ever quoted in our lives, and that's
That's true. Not to say that they aren't out there.
So there's still a lot of that kind of activity going on.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like, if you get that big order, it probably won't come back for another 5, 10, 15 years,
Right.
Like, it's not a yearly thing. So.
Massive.
I mean, probably the biggest, if we get this order, it'd probably be the biggest order times 12?
It's probably the biggest order I've ever seen.
Really?
Bolting order, yeah.
Bolting order.
Yeah.
It's a massive one.
Yeah.
Danny, what do you think the biggest order you've seen in your career? Is it here, or it's your other life?
Yeah, dude.
The one that we got this month?
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh, that was bigger. Yeah, last year
big.
was the biggest one.
That was bigger. But this is 10 times that amount.
More than that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I guess if you combine the two orders, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's massive. Big orders floating around.
You got some parts, Bryce?
I do. You know, the shop. It was tough for me to make some decisions today. There's a lot of crazy parts out there. So, a lot of 660. Surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah. Which one do you want to do?
You know, as I look around, though, you didn't grab any real aerospace parts.
I didn't.
Which has kind of been the theme for the last many weeks.
I did not.
So,
This is all, power generation related, I guess you could say. This will actually, that, my friend, is an aerospace part.
oh, is it really?
That is an aerospace part.
It's going to be a 660?
That one is 660.
Yeah.
One of
So
our
we're obviously not finished with this yet.
One of our homies over there took that order. I don't think he understood how long it takes to make that order. 660. What's the 5/16 24? It's going to be a hex bolt. So you can see it's got a round head now. We're going to hex that bad boy. And then we got to drill some holes in the corners of those, obviously, corners.
Great. And we didn't account for that one.
No, we did. It's just, and we've talked about this before, whenever you get into small diameter, longer parts,
Yeah.
you just have to, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you get a lot of, when you've got the tool sitting on this and you're cutting the parts, and that length to diameter ratio is not in your favor, you get a lot of bending and movement in this. So you have to compensate for that when you're machining it.
A lot of compensation.
Yeah. If you do it on like a Swiss machine, it's much easier, but the
You listen
way
to this?
we do this on a CNC machine is a little more difficult. But we can do it. We can do it.
So
we
it's-
do it every day.
It's taken a little longer than I think we anticipated, but that is in fact an aerospace part. 660, 5/16, 24 by, what is it 5 inches? I think it's right around there. 5 and some change. And then it's got the drill holes, safety wire drill hole.
But it's looking great so far, Alton.
Sexy. Sexy. It's fun though. I mean, it's fun to get new orders and figure it out, and we learn.
We do it every day.
We learn.
Yeah.
So that's aerospace.
Nice.
How about that?
Probably one of my favorite fastener designs.
I agree, man.
Is a 12
There's something about a 12-point.
ferry bolt.
Ferry bolt, a double
12-point
hex.
cap screw. Double hex.
Double
as Bryce
hex.
would call it. Yeah. It's just beautiful, the way we machine it, it's not just a straight milling operation. You're using a round insert to mill all that geometry on the head. So very cool. And there's different ways to do that. You make that flat. You can have the tool follow the contour of the 12-point. So it gives some creativity to the machinist to figure out how to do it. Because you're basically just machining the flat to flat from one side and the point to point, the major. And it's almost like designing a thread on that side of the head.
So many ways to skin a bolt.
Is this going to be 660 as well?
That is 660, my friend.
It's just, there's something about the color and the finish and the machining where you can just kind of tell that it's 660.
What's the thread?
I'm going to say that's 3/4 10.
1-inch 8.
Is it 1 inch?
1-inch 8.
Nice.
It's a hair.
Way off.
It's a hair over 3 inches long.
Okay, I can see it now that you mention it. I
Yep.
can say you were correct.
Yes, sir.
1-inch 8.
1-inch 8.
Yeah.
12-point.
It's a very strong bolt. 660, high temperature, very good corrosion resistance, very good strength at elevated temperature.
Temp.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably my second favorite alloy.
Other than Inconel 718, which is
Ding,
as,
ding, ding.
as we speak. This
The
is
only-
very
the
cool.
only non-660
So
part.
This is a 12-point as well, so
Yeah.
the same excitement that surrounds that geometry. Making a nut, a flange nut, so you can see the wide flange on the back side. But what makes it very cool is the slotted feature that's in that. So this is actually
flex.
a locking
A flex lock nut.
lock nut.
Flex lock nut. So they put those slots in there so they can crimp it, and then it locks itself onto the bolt.
Very exciting. So we're going to take this, after we mill those slots in there, we're going to crimp this and actually affect the major and minor diameter of the top of the nut so that it tightens down, so that when you thread it on, you've got a little bit of resistance there, and it acts as a locking mechanism to hold the nut in place.
An all-metal locking nut.
Yeah, so there's different types of lock nuts. You can have nylon at the top, you can have other type of locking features. but-
Distorted threads, you can do patches, you can do
Yeah.
pellets.
So the crimped slotted nut is, I'm going to call it that, I just made that description up, but crimped slotted nut.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I mean-
Yeah. It's a popular one. We do this one all the time.
It is very
Yeah.
popular. So 3.5 718 AMS 5663, and it's a 2'8" thread.
Extremely hard material, very hard. So a lot of processes on that, a lot of machining. You got to be very skilled to make that work. Yeah, 718.
Sexy, right?
How many pieces?
I don't know. I didn't look at the order.
I saw quite a few of them out there, but I don't know that I
He
saw
just
the whole
started. He
thing.
probably has 2 of them done. So he's working on the slots right now.
Yeah.
And then this is very unassuming. Just a round nut, 660 round nut. So threaded, but they're going to do the Tommy holes. And I always think Tommy holes are kind of cool.
I do too.
So they haven't done the Tommy holes yet, but
Probably more so when you think about, and you know, you don't appreciate this unless you've ever seen that before, but the hydraulic tensioning is what they're going to use that for. But if you understand that process and how they use it, it becomes very fascinating. So, because you're not using a wrench or a socket or anything like that, you're actually using a hydraulic jack to stretch and tension the stud, and you're basically just using a Tommy wrench to spin the nut down until you get it
into
hand
place.
tight, and then you release the stress, and then you have the bolt tensioned. So it's a really cool process. Yeah.
your boy's making these right now.
Really? Okay.
Jackson.
Oh, good. Yeah. My son is out there running a CNC.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I asked
Doing a
him what he
great
was
job.
running yesterday after work, and he said, yeah, I'm running some round nuts. That's all he said, though. He doesn't get quite as excited about materials and designs like we do, but he'll get there.
We do geek out on this stuff.
He'll get there.
We do geek out.
To him, they're just round nuts.
And it should be. I mean, you know, he's just making a round nut.
Yeah.
So it can be kind of boring for him, I guess. Just rounding off some material.
He'll get more excited about it.
Yeah. It is cool to know where they go or know what it is and material and all that.
Those are some great parts, Bryce. Love
I
it.
thought so too. I thought that we had some
Very good
sexiness
job.
out there. Some very attractive parts.
Yeah.
Some tornillos, if you will.
Sure.
Sure.
I'll accept that.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything to say on the podcast? I know Noemi was super excited to be on today.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
But
Bryce,
you're going to show your mom, and then she's going to show someone else, and then it's going to like gain some traction. We're going to get some viewership, you know?
we're going to get like 2 more followers. Viewership's going to go up 50%.
Oh, you know what? I want to scream at YouTube, because this is BS. You know, we had this saying, we did the trade show, we did Prime Expo, and we said if we're going to get 1,000 views, you were going to sing a song, All My Hexes Are Made in Texas. And I put it online on what? You posted it, I shared it. I think within a day it had almost 800 views.
Now, it displayed that metric one time, and then we looked at it again later, and it was back down to like 200. So
200?
I think
How
that was
does
a
that
glitch or
happen?
something. It had to be a glitch.
Bullshit. Because I do think that many people watch it. I think that's a real number. And so I was excited because I was like, all we need is a couple hundred views. I mean, you just make a couple phone calls and you can get 200 people to watch it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, true. But I was excited because you're going to do your thing. And then we had another one, if we get 1,000 views, that China was going to come on and rap. And it still says, and it dropped under 200. It went from like 786 to like 212, like 170, and now it's like up to like 204 or something. It's crap, I tell you.
I think it's probably accurate.
It's crap.
I think the 800 number was just a glitch, because I saw it too. I actually just went in there and looked at it. I was like, holy crap, we're going to get there. And
You should sing just
and then
because-
later on Monday, we talked about it, and Bryce was like, yeah, I saw that too. And then it was back down to 200.
You should sing just because I think everyone wants to hear you sing.
All my hexes live in Texas.
Yeah.
No, maybe we'll bring the guitar and do
You
that.
should serenade.
When
We
Shawnee raps, I'll do it.
And we should have a music episode. We can get Marty back on.
But Shawnee has committed to next week to come in and do a little rap.
And I think next week we'll have Marty rap, and then we'll get, or Chani rap, and then you and Marty, we'll get Marty in remotely.
I'm thinking Marty and I need to do a little collaboration.
Yeah, I agree.
We could write a song together.
A duo.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Some acoustic guitar.
He could phone in and we could do a little video.
Marty,
concert.
are you in? Send me a text.
There's no way he's watching it this late into the episode.
Yeah, for sure. Marty, text me if you're watching. He'll never text me.
No way.
All right. Raps, I think 121, right?
Cheers, brother.
In the books?
121, yes,
Okay.
sir.
Peace.